Are you someone who struggles with getting stuff done when you're tired? Do you have difficulty with maintaining your productivity levels when you're exhausted? If so, then this video is going to be perfect for you because we are going to be talking about how you can work hard even when you're tired. Now, there are two main reasons why people struggle with this. The first reason is because they do and know how to properly manage their energy levels when they retired. And the second reason is because they do and know how to maintain their focus when they feeling exhausted. So in this video, we are going to look at both of these issues, and we will also talk about 5 ways that you can start working hard even when you're retired. So let's start with reason no. 1, which is not knowing how to properly manage your energy levels when you're tired. This happens when you have a lack of control over your environment and you do and know how to use it to your advantage. For example, if you're trying to work on something that requires a lot of creativity, like coming up with new ideas for a project or trying to figure out a problem that you've been having, but you're tired, then what you should do is take a break from that task and come back to it later on when you're more energized. Because when you're tired, your mind is less likely to be able to think clearly and come up with creative solutions. It's much harder to do those things when you're exhausted. So in that situation, the best thing to do is to take a break, rest, and then come back to the task later on when you're more energized. The same thing applies to physical tasks as well. Like if you're trying to exercise or do some other kind of physical activity, but you're tired, then again, it's best to take a break and do it later on when you're more energized. Otherwise, you'll probably end up just hurting yourself and not getting anything done anyway. The second reason is not knowing how to maintain your focus when you're tired. Now, this can happen even if you're doing something that you enjoy doing. For example, let's say you love playing video games, but you're tired and you're just starting to feel like you want to take a nap. Well, if you don't know how to maintain your focus, then you might end up taking that nap and not being productive at all. Or let's say that you're studying for an exam, but you're retired and you're just starting to feel like you want to stop studying and go do something else instead. Well, if you don't know how to maintain your focus, then you might end up giving into that temptation and not being productive either. So in order to avoid these situations, it's important to learn how to maintain your focus even when you're tired. And there are a few tips that can help you do that. The first tip that can help you work hard even when you're retired is to make sure that you get enough sleep. Now, this might sound counterintuitive because you're asking how to work hard even when you're tired, but the fact is that if you don't get enough sleep, then you're not going to be able to work hard at all. Because if you're constantly exhausted, then you're not going to be able to focus or be productive. So it is important to make sure that you get enough sleep in order to maintain your energy levels. Now, everyone needs a different amount of sleep. Some people need 8 hours, some people only need 6 hours. So it is important to figure out how much sleep you personally need in order to feel rested and energized. The next tip is to eat healthy foods that will give you sustained energy throughout the day. Now, it is important to avoid eating sugary foods that will give you a quick burst of energy followed by a crash later on. Instead, you want to eat complex carbohydrates and proteins that will give you sustained energy throughout the day. So for breakfast, instead of eating sugary cereal, eat something like oatmeal or whole wheat toast with avocado. And for lunch and dinner, instead of eating processed foods, eat things like chicken, fish, beans, and lentils. These types of foods will give you the energy you need to work hard all day long. Another great tip is to stay hydrated because when you're dehydrated, it can be much harder to focus and be productive. So make sure that you drink plenty of water throughout the day. You can also drink other beverages like tea or coffee, but make sure that you don't overdo it with the caffeine because too much caffeine can actually have the opposite effect and make it harder for you to focus. Now let us move on to the ways that you can start working hard even when you're retired. The first way is to take breaks and use the Pomodoro technique. This technique can help you maintain your focus even when you're tired. And all you have to do is set a timer for 25 minutes, which is the length of one Pomodoro, and then work on whatever task you're trying to work on until the timer goes off. Once the timer goes off, take a 5-minute break and then repeat the process. Taking these regular breaks can help you maintain your focus and prevent you from getting burnt out. Another way to work hard even when you retired is to make use of your peak performance times. Now, everyone has different peak performance times. Some people are more productive in the morning, while others are more productive in the evening. So it's important to figure out when your peak performance times are and then use them to your advantage. For example, if you know that you're more productive in the morning, then try to do your most important and difficult work during that time of day when you're more focused and energized. The third way to work hard even when you're tired is to delegate tasks whenever possible. Now, sometimes it's just not possible to do everything yourself. And in those cases, it's important to delegate tasks to other people. This can free up your time and energy to focus on the most important things. Also, if you have the option to outsource certain tasks, like hiring someone to clean your house or do your laundry, then that can also be a great way to free up your time and energy. The fourth way is to automate your schedule and use tools to your advantage. There are a ton of tools out there that can help you stay organized and productive, so use them to your advantage. For example, you could use a calendar app to keep track of your appointments and deadlines. You could use a to-do list app to keep track of your tasks. And you could use a note-taking app to keep track of your ideas and research. By automating your schedule and using tools to your advantage, you can free up your time and energy to focus on the most important things. The fifth and final way to work hard even when you're tired is to reward yourself. Now, it's important to remember that working hard doesn't mean working nonstop without taking any breaks. It's important to pace yourself and take breaks when you need to. But if you reward yourself for working hard, then that can help motivate you to push through those tough times when you're tired. So make sure to reward yourself for working hard even when you're tired. So these are 5 ways that you can start working hard even when you're tired. We hope that these tips help you become more productive and successful. Remember that it's important to manage your energy levels effectively and to find ways to maintain your focus even when you're exhausted. By following the tips that we've shared in this video, you'll be able to work hard even when you're tired. Now, before we end this video, please leave us a comment down below with your thoughts about how you can work hard even when you're tired. We would love to hear from you. Also, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And finally, don't forget to grab your free gift. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.